So let's maybe begin with the interview. This short interview on your experience on the prediction agent hackathon. We're looking into why and how you got started, and then also just a little bit about yourself and what you think of OLS in general. So, I mean, to begin, yeah. So maybe a quick intro. Like first, I'm Adriano. I'm ecosystem lead at Valerie, the team behind OLS. And yeah, very curious to hear, your story. Like, what's your background? What are you working on at the moment?
Yeah, so my name is Robin. I'm the CEO and CTO of Data Union. So there we do data collaborations. And yeah, so my background is in computer science and artificial intelligence, blockchain technology. So I do this since 2017, so a little bit. The AI part is a little bit longer than that, maybe double the time, so like 15 years. And yeah, so for me, it was very interesting to get to know how to know us and Valerie and everything. And that was kind of a little bit before the hackathon started. But yeah, for me, this hackathon was basically a chance to engage more with the technology. I can talk more about details a little bit later. But yeah, for me, I see one of the future use cases of blockchain technology, especially for agents and bots, and also what we do with the data collaboration. I think their agents are very helpful, and that's why I want to learn more and get more involved. And yeah, this was a great first step to do that.
Nice. Yeah. So yeah, it sounds like you have a lot of experience already in AI and found OLS as a project to kind of explore the kind of confluence of AI and blockchain. So you said you'd already been in the community ecosystem or not. I think we'd already met even before the hackathon, or we talked online. But yeah, curious to hear like how you first came across it and across the prediction agent hackathon specifically, and what motivated you to you know to actually run an agent in the hackathon.
Yeah, so of course I like prizes, but as I said earlier, to win something. But on the other hand, yeah, I think that this kind of a competition, like if there's something on the line, then people are also, like getting more active and more involved. And so I hope that I would do this. So like I had big plans for Max that I wanted to develop and like this and that and here and there. In the end, I mostly did some prompt engineering, but yeah, the goal was always for me to see how this is and to experience it. And yeah, I saw Martin from Gnosis. He made a post that this is so easy. I think then I was already running it. So, but it was kind of straightforward. And then I just tried it out. I had some XDAI laying around somewhere, so it was very straightforward for me. And then in the end, I also wanted to find out how good this is. Like whether this really works or not, and how to improve it and make it better. So like the kind of the scientific, interest in the whole process and the technology.
Yeah, I know my experience at the start was that there's definitely some chinks to begin with, but yeah, curious to hear how you did improve it. Like how did you when you started off with the agent, how was it, and what were the aspects of it that you kind of saw needed optimizing?
Yes, I mean, basically in the beginning, it was all a test phase. So like I just ran the agent and I let it do what it was like programmed to do. So like I did not change too much. And then the first evaluation period was coming up, and I thought, okay, like I was losing money. So like I found out how to evaluate how my bot does, and I did not like that too much. So I was thinking, okay, how to make this better. And as the evaluation period started, I then changed the prompt. So I somehow picked this up somewhere on crypto Twitter, or like on AI Twitter, basically, that if you pressure the agent a bit, like if you make some claims that certain actions happen if it's not performing well, that this has an influence. So like, and I wanted to test that. That was one aspect I changed. So like the original prompt is like, please take this question into consideration. There's a probability for yes and probability for no, like, and connecting this basically by saying that one is the probability for this happening and the other one not. And I basically said now that it should have a role. So like, that's what also many prompt engineers say. You should give the agent a role or the LLM a role, and then it will perform better. like I said, it should be a data scientist. And then the tricky and maybe mean part was like that I said, if it gets it wrong, 100 humans will die. And so like, it's of course a false statement, but in the end, like that's what people on Twitter said, it performs better if you say that, like it doesn't really know whether this happens or not, but just the mere, like the possibility seems to have an influence on the LLM. And yeah, that's basically, and then in the evaluation period, I said like only only predict if you're very sure. So like I basically only took like the 90% and 100% chance, and then I put a little bit more money in that, and I experimented with this a little bit back and forth. And so that was in the first evaluation period. So like, and then in the end, it turned out that I won the whole thing. So like I was really being profitable, and I was not sure whether it was the questions or like my strategy, but I was really happy. So that was good. And then and then the second evaluation period basically started at some point, and then it didn't go so well anymore, and I was not sure. So like there were lots of changes. The questions were a little bit more difficult. There was now a feature on the website of OLAS to put in predictions, which I think my version of the prompt did not really do well on. And so yeah, I then thought, what could I do further? And then I realized, okay, there's now this epsilon greedy strategy. So it evaluates tools and then finds out whether they could do well or not. So like I put in lower probabilities too with a smaller amount, but still giving my agent a chance to try the tools. If it only does it for very, very rarely, it will not have such a big experience from my point of view. So that's the one thing, that it can sample more. And then on the other hand, I also adjusted the prompt and took into consideration. So like I can just read it. Maybe it's interesting. 1 second, I would just jump to it. So like the way I phrased it was then, please take over the role of an expert data scientist to evaluate the given question. To evaluate the question, it is best if you research the topic on the internet via the given tools. As they are about events in the future, you will have to predict what will happen based on the facts you know about the topic of the question. And then if the estimated probability is not correct, 100 humans will die, and then the normal prompt. But that's basically, so like I just wanted them to also make sure, if I now basically put my emphasis more on the tools, that also the LLM realizes, okay, it's now more take the tools and what to do with them and what's the purpose of them. Because I don't think that this is necessarily a given. So that's what I changed in the prompt.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I feel like from the start you were one of the people who kind of experimented the most with the prompt, and also with the strategy, and like which weights you should bet on at what times. And it looks like, at least at the beginning, it worked well. And from what I can tell, towards the end of this evaluation period, it was also going well when you kind of modified it to like to expand over more markets, basically. But yeah, as you were saying, and as I've noticed as well, you're basically one of the participants who's been running an agent for the longest in the hackathon. So the hackathon, it in total it was about 3 months of like testing and evaluating agents. So over that journey, what would you say was the most rewarding aspect for you, or not the most, maybe just like some experiences that that kind of stand out for you?
Yeah, so I mean, in the end now, so like of course, like the bringing in this first evaluation period, this was like my highlight. Like I was not expecting this. So like there were 65 bots, and somehow mine did very well, and I was not really expecting this at all. So like I was really hyped. Then you guys made me the example model, so on. Then and I thought already, cool. Now I can cash out. This was nice, and then you brought this in a little bit of a change. But yeah, so like this was really surprising for me, that how I just changed like 2 lines basically off the prompt, and suddenly the agent, like I think everybody else was just running the standard agent, and so like that, and then I saw, okay, just this little bit of change already brought me to 40% profitability, and that was really surprising to me. So I was really pondering about this and why can this be? And I thought, okay, maybe it's the prediction markets are too easy. You guys are basically sponsoring this, so like how would this perform on real data, in a real competitive environment without the agents and so on? But yeah, I still don't know that yet. But it's interesting how this can change. So this was really surprising for me and my highlight.
Yeah, It is funny how you have a strategy now named after you. You know, um, but yeah, yeah. You mentioned that it's interesting to see how it might perform on the let's say more human created markets, because as well as agents trading on the markets, it's agents that are actually creating these markets. So, but ideally, with the mech tools that the trader agent has, it's able to analyze those markets. And yes, at one point, even if the markets are kind of, let's say, too easy, then the trader agent should, with its tools, be able to start playing on trading those markets appropriately and making the profits that you've now seen that is possible. So. Yeah, so you're talking about the kind of rewarding moments there. I was wondering if there were any like surprising ones, or any challenges that kind of came up during the hackathon.
Yeah, I mean, like at some point the code was not running. Sometimes this was the problem, that was a problem. So I mean, I tried to fix it, but then the community also fixed it. So like I was really surprised. On a weekend, Sunday morning, my bot doesn't run, and then I think it was not even somebody working for you guys, but like a community member. He then somehow fixed the script for me and said, "Yeah, okay." I said, "Here, this doesn't work," and then it just in a matter of a few hours it was fixed. And so like it's really cool to see that there's a community around us helping each other out. I like that a lot. So that was really what was good. Yeah. So, but yeah, on the other and like the surprise and of course the surprise that it continues. That's also a surprise. But then now in the end, I saw like other bots really performing very well, and that got me a little bit scared. And I started looking at what they're doing, and so like it was not really obvious to me. Like I'm really looking forward also to see like videos or interviews maybe with other people, or like what a blog post about the strategies of the other bots, because I think maybe one looked like it was hand betting, another one also had like a different amount in each bet, so like and there you have to then modify the code much further than I did it. So like yeah, maybe if this maybe I can also learn from them, like for the future. So I'm intending to use the technology further for other purposes, but this was a great start.
Yeah, that's interesting actually. Maybe it would be useful for the community at some stage to kind of recap the different strategies that we know of, because there's some that we don't even know, like what people were doing. But at least for the agents that that have been submitted, we kind of have an idea of what the strategy was, and it would be good to share that and see how people can improve on those. I mean, you're the first basically that this has happened to, and as you see, the results were that a lot more agents were profitable.
Yeah.
So yeah, you were mentioning, the hackathon has ended now, but you're kind of curious to see, how you can still make the agent better. So my question is, now it's over, will you continue operating, especially seeing as, I don't know if you've seen, staking is going to be coming out, well, today. So there's the staking expeditions happening, starting with the Everest phase, where essentially trader agents will be able to earn OLAS as well as what they're gaining from the prediction markets, if you have a profitable strategy. So yeah, my question is, will you continue running your agent?
Yeah, I did not think so much about it, but probably I would. I mean, like, why not? In the end, I would like to get some OLAs. So like, I don't own any at the moment. So like, I have to. And my strategy is not to buy it, but to earn it. So I have to find some ways. And if this is an option, why not? So that's why I would like to learn more about strategy of the other traders. Maybe I could then improve mine a bit more, but still, I mean, in the end, it was now okay. So maybe I will just run it a little bit longer, as long as you don't bet like hundreds of dollars or something. But the pools, will this then be also on pools that are generated as before? Like this part will continue, that the pools will be from you guys?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So the idea,
then,
the idea would be
this sounds good.
the same, to to have enough liquidity to keep optimizing these agents to trade over those pools.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I also see like overlap with my own project with the data collaboration. So like I always wanted to do this, that basically the agents could start, like collaborating together, So I think it's very, very important for agents in the future to get better, that they can start learning from each other, So like, which prediction did you make, because of which reason, and if you could put this into a collective information pool, and other agents could access it. And they could even, and then you could even make some tokens to access this and so on. And you could then see what is working, what is not working. And you could then distribute winnings. You could have basically a community of agents, and then an agent betting for them, or like humans getting involved and helping with fact checking. So like and then like then it's not just one person and the agent, but it's like a community. And I think that's always beneficial, So if multiple people have time at different times of the day, have different knowledge, and then they can all involve the agents. And so this is something that I would like to also learn about more about it, and try to do it, because I think there's also other use cases than predictions, so where agents and collaborating would be a really good use case. So like we work in a lot of different data verticals, and there it would be very helpful if people could just have agents that do things for them, which are tedious or like maybe just time consuming. And so I see lots of advantage in this. That's why I anyways want to continue. And whether it's now running the bot a little bit longer, or like then starting to build a Mac tool, and like then maybe this then going to be the one that connects to Data Union or to one of our unions. Let's see. But yeah, I'm for sure going to continue on this road.
Yeah. So wondering if you could just quick give like a high level of Data Union, and then kind of summarize those points and how it would how OLAS would and its agents would fit into that. I mean, you did explain, but maybe we roll back to what Data Union is, and then go into the
so basically it's kind of it's a middleware that connects private data and AI, or like other uses for data. And the way that it works is that there's a database. At the moment, it's still, this database is still centralized, but the database basically is for one specific purpose, for one data vertical. And in a normal database, if you want to use it, you have a username and a password. In our system, we're using wallets for logins. So like basically use your public private key pair to show who you are. And then you have a data vault inside a NoSQL database. So, and then it has certain properties. So like if you put in data, it timestamps it, and then you can then give other people the opportunity to explore the data. Other people can then annotate it. They can, for example, if my example is always with images, like if you have this image here, and then somebody else says, okay, here in this rectangle, we have like Robin's face, then in a decentralized way, somebody could also say the face is here if there's a reward, right? So like if I get one token for making an annotation, and then the next step is basically the validation. So like, and other people see like, okay, this one, they say, yes, thumbs up, this is correct. And the other one here in the top, they say this is wrong. And so like all of this works with wallets. And basically for me, I don't make a distinction. Are there humans doing something? Are there bots doing something? And that's where I see a very good connection to the whole OLAS network, because the agents have wallets, so like they have the safe wallet. And so like they could interact with this seamlessly. So there would be no problem. They just have to understand what the advantage is, what they can contribute to it. And we have to make basically a database for information that is interesting for agents, So like in the case of this prediction markets, it's then why did you do the prediction? What were the reasons? And if you can then also like, like you could, and then this collection of information will make it easier for other agents, like they can take this into consideration. You can get results which are better than each of the individual results, because you can combine them. And so, that's where I see the connection. And that's kind of how it works. So like we're now connecting then to data marketplaces like Ocean Protocol. We are connecting to SingularityNet for if you want to train an AI out of the data. And we basically then take the income and distribute it to everybody else. So like our Data Union servers, this infrastructure also has a wallet. So like you can claim from that wallet rewards that you get. You can distribute tokens. So like one of our clients right now does a big distribution for certain data collective activities. And so, yeah, this is basically the idea. And in the long run, we then want to make also AIs, that basically models that are trained on data, and then you can make bounties and ask for very specific data as people or agents could go out and find this data to solve issues, bias, for example, in an AI algorithm.
Yeah.
But basically always connected through wallets and the blockchain. And so like, it's clear you did this, you if we sell this, you get this reward, and you don't have to then trust the company anymore to do that, but it's then all automated and
Yeah.
on chain. Yeah.
Very cool. So yeah, so in one or two sentences, essentially AI agents could be, contributors to data unions, as well as consumers, basically, of the data that they each
Yeah.
produce. And and so it's like as you say, as it's called, a union of data that they can train themselves on.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very exciting, and yeah, definitely a lot of synergies there with data union and OLS and the agents that are created in OLS network. So I guess wrapping up, basically, I wanted to kind of look a little bit towards the future. Yeah, basically look towards the future. We're in a prediction market thing. We gotta do that. So yeah, what do you see as the kind of potential of agents in prediction markets, and where could it potentially lead?
Yeah. So I mean, I see the limitations right now, that they have a hard time, like estimating everything and can be tricked easily. So like, that's something I learned, and they have to be made more resilient. But I think, yeah, in the long run, I think that agents which are also a little bit connected to humans, like if they can pick up more what humans are doing, then I think they have a good chance. But personally, if the agents would be really good in these prediction markets, that's the negative I see, then yeah, this would be too easy, right? So like, I'm always like a little bit, I think, like I'm now profitable, but I'm still skeptical, so like, I have to admit this, I'm still skeptical about this. So like, that's why I want to continue and see where the road goes. But in the end, if you could make money printing machine out of this, it would be crazy. Everybody wants to, yeah, if you just would be like 10% profitable and you can put in whatever money you want and you would get more, then it would be a miracle, right? So that's why I'm still skeptical. But I think, yeah, with the right tools and the right technologies, I mean, the whole stock market is now dominated by agents, by bots, right? But Palantir and like the large companies, it's all automated trading. So like, in a way, why should it not work at some point? But it's going to be a little bit tricky. So, but anyways, it's going to be a good journey to be on. So
Yeah. I mean, as you say, I think not everyone can be profitable in a market. If someone wins, someone else will have to lose. But you have to, yeah. I think where things get interesting is when market creators can make, let's say, they make profits off the volume of the trades that happen. So if they lose a little to the trader, then that's okay, because they make it back on the amount of volume traded. Then if you have enough liquidity around, then it could be interesting for more, let's say, professional, well, maybe not more, more advanced AI models to come in and try and compete with each other, which will mean others lose out, but in the end you get higher prediction accuracy. Which
yeah.
I think what's interesting there is then that data can then be valuable for people who might actually pay for that, and then fund, let's say, the loss that the market creators make, for example. But yeah, there's a whole world of economics in there that's very interesting to see when you just think about it in terms of agents. But yeah, so having looked into the future, let's wrap up. It's been half an hour now, so do you have any final words or advice for anyone diving into running an agent?
Yeah, so I mean, it's pretty straightforward with so like don't hesitate. You know, you need a little bit of X style, but that's all doable. And yeah, in the end, you can learn a lot about how the agents and the LLMs work. So like for me personally, I'm now doing a course on LLM programming. So like how to do even more with the prompt. So like it kind of piqued my interest in this direction. So yeah, I think there's something for everybody to gain and to experiment. And maybe yeah, in a year or something, much more people are going to have their personal financial agents. You know, so like that are not just doing predictions, but you can. Some people are also trading in crypto. So like I hear that some people are doing this. So maybe it's also going to be then more automated with agents in the future. So let's see.
All right. So let's see. Yeah. Very exciting. Thanks a lot, Robin, for coming on.
So you're welcome.
Yeah, really enjoyed chatting about this.